Have you ever stopped to think about the very first thing you eat in the morning? For most people over 60, it's a thought that barely crosses their mind. They wake up, pour a cup of coffee, and maybe grab a quick piece of toast or, more often than not, skip breakfast entirely, thinking it's a harmless part of their daily routine. But what if I told you that this single, seemingly innocent habit is one of the biggest hidden reasons why millions of older adults gradually lose their most precious asset, their independence? What if that simple morning choice is what stands between protecting your legs for years to come, or slowly and silently destroying them? After you pass the age of 60, your legs become more vulnerable than ever before. You might not feel it happening day to day, but with each morning that begins without the right kind of fuel, your leg muscles are put at a greater risk of shrinking, of weakening, and of losing the very strength that allows you to walk with confidence, maintain your balance, and even get up from a chair without assistance. But here is the crucial piece of information that almost no one talks about. This decline is not inevitable. That process of muscle loss can be dramatically slowed down, and in many cases, it can even be reversed. The solution isn't found in a prescription bottle, a complicated gym routine, or a cabinet full of expensive supplements. It's found in something far simpler and more powerful: what you choose to put on your plate within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking up. That first bite of food, if chosen with care, can act like a switch, turning on your body's natural muscle repair systems. It can improve circulation to your lower body, significantly reduce those painful nighttime leg cramps, and has been shown to delay the effects of muscle aging by as much as a decade. A doctor's secret: it's not age, it's routine. Before we dive into the specifics, allow me to briefly introduce myself. I'm Dr. Charles, and I've dedicated more than 40 years of my life to the field of geriatric medicine. Throughout my career, I've worked with thousands of patients who were facing the daunting challenges of age-related muscle loss, debilitating balance issues, and a decline in their mobility. And if there is one profound lesson I have learned over all those years, it's this: most seniors do not lose their strength simply because they are getting older. They lose it because of routine. They lose it because of the quiet repetition of small, daily habits. Each morning, without ever realizing the damage they're doing, they repeat the same tiny mistake that chips away at the strength in their legs, one day at a time. But I've also had the privilege of seeing the other side of that coin. I have witnessed what happens when you intentionally change that morning routine. I have seen patients who could barely make it across a room regain their stride and confidence. I've watched men and women in their 70s and 80s completely eliminate their leg cramps, put away their canes for good, and joyfully return to their morning walks, all because of a few small strategic changes to their diet. And for every single one of them, the transformation began with how they started their day. So, if your legs feel a little stiffer in the mornings, if your knees are sore, if your balance feels a bit shaky, or if your steps just feel heavier than they used to, please don't just dismiss it as an unavoidable part of aging. Watch closely, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what your body has been missing each morning, and you'll know precisely how to start giving it back. The science of the morning, fueling or failing your muscles. Let's talk about what is actually happening inside your body during those first few hours after you wake up, and why this window of time is more critical than you might think. When you open your eyes in the morning, your body is in what's known as a fasted state. After going 7, 8, or even 9 hours without food, your system begins to break down its own internal resources to keep your essential functions running. Unfortunately, for older adults, one of the very first places the body turns to for this emergency energy is your muscle tissue, especially the large muscles in your legs. This process is called a catabolic state, and if it's left unchecked morning after morning, it becomes incredibly dangerous for your long-term mobility. According to the National Institute on Aging, adults over the age of 60 can lose up to a third of their leg muscle mass in just 10 years. The early signs are subtle but significant. You might start taking shorter steps, notice that getting out of a low chair requires a push from your arms, or feel that your balance has become inconsistent. Your legs may feel heavy, or you might find yourself hesitating for a moment before walking across a room. These are not just random occurrences, they are clear signals of declining strength and coordination. This is precisely where most people unknowingly make the problem worse. They skip breakfast, drink black coffee on an empty stomach, or reach for simple carbohydrates like white bread or sugary cereal. These choices don't feed your muscles, they actively deprive them. They trigger blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes, increase inflammation throughout your body, and accelerate the very muscle loss we are trying to prevent. 5 foods to rebuild and protect your legs. So, what is the alternative? Let's begin with one of the most powerful and accessible foods for muscle maintenance: whole eggs. Eggs are a nutritional powerhouse, loaded with the essential building blocks your body needs to rebuild and protect muscle tissue. The star player here is an amino acid called leucine, which acts as a trigger, sending a powerful signal to your body that says it's time to repair and grow muscle. This is especially important for older adults who actually need more leucine than younger people to achieve the same muscle building effect. In fact, a study from the University of Illinois found that seniors who ate 2 whole eggs every morning for 8 weeks showed measurable improvements in both their leg strength and walking speed. But it's not just about the protein. The yolk, which many people mistakenly throw away, contains vital nutrients like vitamin D, B12, and choline, all of which are critical for supporting nerve health, balance, and coordination. By starting your day with a boiled or scrambled egg, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're improving the very way blood and oxygen move through your lower body. Next on our list is a comforting classic: oatmeal, especially when you supercharge it with a tablespoon of chia seeds. On its own, oatmeal might not seem like a muscle-building giant, but its secret weapon is a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber helps to maintain stable blood sugar levels throughout the morning. Stable blood sugar is essential because it allows your body to efficiently use the proteins and vitamins you consume for tissue repair. When your blood sugar is on a roller coaster, that repair process is severely hampered. Now, when you stir in a spoonful of chia seeds, the benefits multiply. Chia seeds are packed with omega-3 fatty acids to fight inflammation, along with calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Magnesium is particularly important as its deficiency is common in older adults and is directly linked to those frustrating nighttime leg spasms and early morning stiffness. Let's move on to a fruit that many of us already have in our kitchen: the banana. Bananas are often misunderstood, with some worrying they are too sugary. But for the right person at the right time, a banana is a fantastic tool for leg health, primarily for preventing cramps and maintaining proper muscular function. This is thanks to its high potassium content. A single banana provides about 10% of your daily potassium needs, an electrolyte that is absolutely vital for enabling proper muscle contractions. Without enough potassium, your leg muscles are far more likely to misfire, cramp, or twitch. Now, a word of caution: if you have type 2 diabetes or are sensitive to blood sugar, it's best to eat a smaller, slightly underripe banana and always pair it with a source of protein or healthy fat, like Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts, to slow down sugar absorption. That brings us to another breakfast champion: plain Greek yogurt. This isn't your average yogurt. It's strained to remove excess liquid, which concentrates the protein, making it nearly twice as high as regular yogurt. A single serving can provide up to 17 grams of high-quality, slow-digesting protein. This slow release provides your muscles with a steady stream of amino acids throughout the morning, effectively halting the muscle breakdown that began overnight. It's also rich in calcium and vitamin D, a duo that is essential for bone density and the neuromuscular coordination required for stable walking and balance. When choosing, always opt for plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt to avoid the added sugars that can increase inflammation and work against your goals. Finally, let's discuss an unconventional but incredibly effective option: a small, steamed sweet potato with a pinch of natural mineral salt, like Celtic or Himalayan salt. Most people don't think of sweet potatoes for breakfast, but their complex carbohydrates are perfect for restoring muscle glycogen, the primary energy source your legs need to function properly after an overnight fast. Unlike simple carbs that cause a crash, Sweet potatoes release energy slowly, preventing that early day fatigue and leg heaviness. The mineral salt adds crucial trace minerals like magnesium and potassium, which help regulate hydration within your muscle cells and support the electrolyte balance needed to prevent stiffness and cramping. Your first hour, 5 habits for stronger, steadier legs. What you eat is a massive part of the equation, but to truly protect your legs and create the ideal environment for repair, we need to pair these foods with a few simple morning habits. The first and perhaps most important is to drink a glass of warm water with a tiny pinch of natural mineral salt as soon as you wake up. After a night of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated and your electrolyte levels are low, which can cause that heavy, unsteady feeling in your legs. This simple drink begins to rehydrate your muscle tissues and restore nerve conductivity, priming your body for the day ahead. Second, perform a simple 3-minute standing leg activation routine right in your bedroom. Stand near a wall for support and slowly raise one leg just a few inches off the floor, holding for 10 seconds before switching. Repeating this 5 times on each side wakes up your hips, thighs, and core muscles and activates the sensors in your joints that are crucial for good balance. Third, avoid rushing out of bed. Jumping up too quickly can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, leading to dizziness and falls. Instead, sit up slowly, rotate your ankles for 30 seconds to get the blood flowing, and then stand up and pause for a moment before you start walking. Fourth, try to get 5 to 10 minutes of early morning sunlight. You can step outside or simply sit by a sunny window. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight, yet this vitamin is critical for calcium absorption, bone density, and the neuromuscular coordination that keeps you steady on your feet. And finally, the 5th habit is to not stay hungry for too long after waking. The longer your body remains in that fasted catabolic state, the more likely it is to break down precious muscle for fuel. Even if you're not ready for a full meal, having something small, like half a boiled egg or a few spoonfuls of Greek yogurt, can shift your body out of breakdown mode and into repair mode, protecting your legs from that slow, silent deterioration. Your choice, your strength, a final word. I understand that some of this might sound almost too simple. You might be thinking, can a glass of water and a different breakfast really change the way my legs feel? Let me be clear. I have treated patients who were on the verge of giving up, people who were convinced their weakness was irreversible and were already relying on walkers to get around. And using these exact strategies, the right foods at the right time, combined with these 5 intentional morning habits, they began to rebuild. It wasn't overnight and it wasn't without effort, but step by step, day by day, they got stronger. Every morning, you are presented with a choice. You can either feed and support the muscles that keep you moving and independent, or you can ignore them and allow them to shrink quietly in the background. One path leads to strength, confidence, and freedom. The other leads to stiffness, weakness, and eventual dependence. The difference between those 2 paths isn't determined by genetics or luck, it's determined by action. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to leave a comment below and tell me what you plan to change about your morning routine. Your story might be the very one that inspires someone else to take that first crucial step. Until then, I'm Dr. Charles. Stay strong, stay steady, and always start your day with intention.